What is going on, everybody? We are live. Welcome to the SB Fantasy Football Podcast, where, gee golly, we try hard. As always, I'm Alan.
I'm RD. What's up, man?
You know what? Just living the dream, brother. How about you?
Oh yeah, same old, same old. Day before
Oh,
Thanksgiving, house is
What's up, man?
full.
you know what? Just
Oh
living the
geez,
dream,
there we
brother. How
go.
about you?
Got to get
What?
rid of
What?
that.
Oh, okay. That was you. I was like, I just pulled up YouTube, and I was like, wait a minute. And I was like, well, no, wait, no, that can't be me because my phone's not connected.
Yeah, no, I needed to. I was going to check just like every week, right? Someone comes in, they sub or something like that, and then it's like I don't have the dashboard up, and of course I open the dashboard, and for some reason it's like, yeah, no, you need to listen to it. I'm like, oh, do I? Okay.
don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, it's
We,
fucking annoying. I mean,
we got
everything's annoying here.
Jacob in here, Duncan's in here. We got the questions already firing. Duncan asked us on one of our shorts. We said, you said, I'll get with Alan and we'll talk about this. So we've got pick one, JT, Mike Evans, Josh Downs, Tyrone Tracy, James Cook, full PPR.
I mean, is Evans healthy? Is Taylor healthy?
So, well, I mean, Taylor's healthy. He's
Is
just
he?
on a bad team. They're just playing bad football right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
Man, their offense kept them back too this week because they should have been in the end zone. What was it, twice? They were in the red zone, and then they had like a crazy call or a holding call or something like that on like both possessions. You're just like, all right, go. I mean, it's just you guys got to get in the end zone. It's like watching the holds and everything else that cost that cost me in the Baltimore game too. I think Derrick Henry ran one in from like the 7 or 8 yard line, and they're like, yeah, back it up 10 yards holding. But
that cost me a couple bucks there.
yeah.
That one hurt. Mike Evans was back this last week.
Mhm.
Um, and had an okay day. I'm actually pulling it up right now. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head. He had 5 catches for 68 yards. His first game back.
It's not bad.
Which first game back, not bad. They got Carolina this week. Carolina is actually decent against wide receivers. They give up the 24th most points. So pretty good. Here's my thing though. Josh Downs, I'm he had a pretty decent week this last week, but is that going to be repeated with Anthony Richardson back there? I don't know. Tyrone Tracy, I mean, the Giants are just a mess right now. I think they're going with Drew Lock this week. I'm hearing DeVito is a little banged up, so might not. And then with James Cook, normally I'd be like all aboard James Cook, but they're expecting a snowstorm there, like a pretty bad snowstorm. So that could be some pretty ugly football, which could lead to running the ball more, but could also lead to fumbles, low scoring. I think I'm leaning Mike Evans on this one. What about you?
No idea. I don't know. It's way too early. Like when you look at these players, we still have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to get to for the most of these guys play. I have the NFL schedule pulled up for like tomorrow and Friday, so you got 4 games this week. I know it's tough. The Giants do play tomorrow. They're against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are at home. They suck at home. They give up a ton of points to running backs. They can't stop the run. But then again, they showed up against Washington. I don't know what's going to happen, to be honest with you. But Josh Downs, he's kind of up and down. I mean, it's going to be JT, James Cook, or Mike Evans for me at this point. And if there's a snowstorm in Buffalo, shocker. Then you have to kind of lean towards Indy or Tampa Bay. I mean, if Mike Evans is back in full, I don't see why you wouldn't take him. Why you wouldn't put him in your flex either, especially
Yeah.
PPR.
I mean, for me, like I said, it's Mike Evans. It's his second game back. The first game back's always tough, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that second game, oh, buddy, watch
All
out.
his players are on the road too. So the Giants are on the road. Yeah, the Bucks are on the road. You got anybody playing at home? The Giants are on the road. Yeah, dude, that's tough. I'm
It,
sure
it,
you'll cover this in your Saturday night stream or whatever, because maybe
oh,
you'll get some final like weather reports and health reports and whatnot. I do like James Cook, obviously. And short dump off passes in the snow. They're going to pile up. So I am between Mike Evans and James Cook, I think, on that one. I like JT, but man, they're not doing anything.
when you don't have the threat of the pass, it's hard to run the football, right?
Mhm.
That's just all there is to it.
Mhm.
um, So that right now I'm leaning Mike Evans. Duncan, we'll talk again Saturday night. How's that sound? Michael, struggling on flex this week. If I should go with London or one of the Tampa Bay running backs.
I mean, depending on which, I mean, hell, one of them's going to score. They're both going to score a touchdown, right? You know, Sean Tucker will score one. Bucky will put one in. So will Rashad. You know, I mean, I like Drake London. I do. It just, God, I don't know what's going to happen. I think we were so high on Atlanta, and I'm at the point now where I don't pick Atlanta for anything, and I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. Like, that's how bad it is. I think that's how bad they are, and I just can't handle it no more.
And they're playing the Chargers this week. Chargers are pretty good. They do give up the 19th most points to wide receivers. So,
I mean, they're not great either. I mean, they just let Ravens just shit all over them on Monday Night Football. Give up 30 points to them at home. Justin Herbert couldn't hit anybody. And then not to mention Quentin Johnson can't catch a cold in February in Buffalo. How about that? That guy, you know what? That guy sucks. He does. He effing sucks. I swear to God. And you know what? And I liked Herbert too going into this. And it's not like all his fault, but let's just say like most of those throws were so far off target. And who's the other a-hole up there? Number 5. What's his stupid name? God, is it Palmer? That guy looked so surprised a football was being thrown to him in the middle of a football game. I was sick. I was so effing sick. I almost went out of my house, knocked on my neighbor's door, and socked him in the mouth just because of it. Son of a bitch.
Your neighbor has nothing to do with it. So
that's what I'm saying. I'm just going to start striking.
Which neighbor? The ones that you know they're just running everybody in and out of there. Or
that one.
One with the dog that barks all the time.
Yeah, no. I haven't heard that dog bark since I went over there that morning. Son of a bitch.
Michael, tell us how you really feel, Dave.
You know, I'm just saying. You're watching that game and you're like, you know, after 4 good weeks, Herbert had 4 good weeks, right? And we're like, all right, cool. Here we go. We're trending upward. We're trending upward. Quentin Johnson sucks so effing bad. He's got the yips again. And
he's been trending up too, though.
Yeah,
you know?
He has. So, and now he's right back in the doghouse, man. I hope they bench his ass. But that's the problem. If Justin Herbert, you know what's funny is they got, you know, Keenan Allen left. Mike Williams, he was always hurt, but he was still a great player, right?
Well, Keenan Allen was traded. He didn't leave. It's not like he said, I'll see you guys later.
Yeah. Austin Eckler, gone. You know, you take these amazing pieces around Herbert, and now you leave him with what he has now. And then J.K. Dobbins went down. I was like, Jesus Christ. You would have, dude, I don't know what I threw. I threw something around here when I heard of that shit. I was like, ah. And so it went, I was like, this absolutely sucks. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So anyway.
Talking, wow, he's got one really hot take tonight.
I've been drinking, buddy. And so I'm going to be, it's Drinksgiving. If you're unfamiliar with that, that's our strikeout beer tradition where we have a couple drinks, you know, enjoy ourselves. We used to do it till like the wee hours of the morning. I just don't have it in me anymore. I've been ramping up since about 3. So
Edits is in the house. Jordan Addison, Gus Edwards, or Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, I haven't even looked at the matchups, but Jordan Addison's been hot lately.
Yeah,
and Brian Thomas has not. But that a lot of that has to do with Mac Jones has been playing quarterback, and Mac Jones just isn't good, right? Yes. If J.K. Dobbins doesn't play, Gus Edwards might be a pretty decent play. But I think we need to wait and kind of see. I don't think J.K.'s been ruled out as of yet.
He's done. He's done for this week. He's not going to play. Yeah.
Okay.
He's not going to play. I like Jordan Addison, you know, in this situation too, because he has been lightning hot. And he's taken, when you have Justin Jefferson out there running around, he gets so much attention, so many eyeballs, and Jordan, and then you got Addison out there just kind of by himself. You know, there's usually a one-on-one, and he can get free. I'm not on the Brian Thomas train. If Sunshine's not throwing the ball, I'm out. I'm out on him. Like, I cannot start him. I don't care what the situation is. I haven't benched in one of my leagues, and I won't start him until Lawrence is back and healthy.
Yeah, and let's see. What's our latest on old Trevor Lawrence here? He's listed as questionable right now. He was a limited participant in practice, so he hasn't been ruled out. He hasn't even ruled out surgery yet on his shoulder. So we're just gonna have to, again, it's just kind of the wait and see game is kind of where we're sitting at.
Yeah, hopefully you'll hear something Sunday morning. You know, I mean, if you're looking at these names, I'm going to go ahead and just say I'm not starting Brian Thomas. I don't care. I like Jordan Addison over Brian Thomas, and then it becomes a coin flip kind of between Edwards and Addison. But you know, if you're checking out, was the Chargers are playing the Falcons on the road? Minnesota is playing. Are they even playing this week? Are they on? They're on a bye week.
They're playing. No, they're playing Arizona.
They're playing Arizona, so they're at home against Arizona. I might have to lean towards Addison. Gus the Bus did pretty good. It was good to see him out there because he's a big dude. It's fun to watch him run, and he's been in the league for so long. I used to pick him up as like a handcuff or like a flex play when he was at Baltimore because it was almost guaranteed he was going to fall in the end zone every single time. But he still looks good, and I think he caught a couple balls out of the backfield too. So if you're in PPR, I would between Jordan Addison and Gus Edwards. That's where I'm going to fall on that. I'm sure you'll handle it Sunday or Saturday night.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about some more then. But I mean, Jordan Addison's coming off of 8 catches for 160 yards and a touchdown. He's got touchdowns in back-to-back weeks against 2 really good defenses against the pass in Tennessee and Chicago. They give up the 29th most points and 27th most points. So pretty good.
Did you say good defenses?
Or like against wide receivers, they give up the 29th and 27th most points.
Oh, okay.
So that's like pretty darn good as far as overall the defense isn't good, but they don't give up a lot of points to wide receivers.
Are you sure you got that reversed?
No.
You don't have it reversed? Okay.
No.
Okay.
The Bears defense has been good this year. Just their offense is just so awful.
Yeah. That's weird.
You know, they're probably getting at least a turnover a week, at least one. They're keeping themselves in some of these games, but that offense has just been so bad there that they spend too much time on the field.
I did like that the Titans beat Houston. I didn't like it financially. I just thought it was hilarious because I like chaos. But I thought that was funny. I liked that all that they lost this week. Anyways, damn, that's a lot of comments.
So bad. They are, Duncan. Thoughts on Thanksgiving games? Old School's in the house. What's up, Old School?
What's up, Lizzie? We say hi to Lizzie. Shit.
Like, subscribe.
Hey, babe.
Lizzie, what's up?
Old School, you old dirty son of a bitch. What's up?
So, how you feeling about the Thanksgiving games? Any games you're excited about?
I don't. You know me. I kind of don't care. But you do have like teams that have like fantasy implications and things like that, right? You have the Lions playing. Cowboys, even though they suck, you still have CD playing. The Giants, you're gonna have like was it Malik Neighbor? He's in there playing.
Malik Neighbor's Tyrone Tracy's become a guy that people have been playing.
Yeah, and then you got the Dolphins. I mean, the whole damn team's fantasy relevant. The Packers, the whole team is fantasy relevant. So, Jonnu Smith, is that guy going to be able to keep it going, man? He's been fun to watch. And so, yeah, Duncan, go ahead and give the Go Pack Go. You got
he's given it a few times already.
Yeah, you got the clearance there. But it's not terrible games to watch. Obviously they're both like so the Lions and the Lions and the Cowboys. They host Thanksgiving, and they always get like a layup, right? And so this is just a week of layup. This is early where you're just kind of like, all right, we got stuff to do. The game's on. No one's really watching because it's not going to be competitive. But the Thursday night game, the Packers and the Dolphins, I'm kind of excited. I want to know the weather report up in Green Bay because, Tua doesn't do good in the cold.
No.
Right. And then you also have Raiders Chiefs on Friday. Raiders beat the Chiefs last year. I think, was it on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve?
It was ridiculous.
It was so great. It was so freaking great.
Let's see. I'm just trying to see if I can get what they're looking at for weather for that game. 28 degrees is what it's looking like.
I hope Tua shows up because that's the game I'm looking forward to the most. The other two games, I just don't, no one cares, right? The Bears suck, Giants suck, Cowboys suck at this point. So Cowboys were a 3.5-point favorite. I think they moved it down to 3. And so you get 3 points for being at home. They're essentially saying this might be a toss-up. And with Drew Lock playing, it's wild card, bitches. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what he's going to do. The Dallas Cowboys, the DST out there was available in like every single league. And I was like, I don't know what I feel or how I feel about it. I don't want to mess with it though. So I let it lie and I went another direction. But like I said, the whole Dolphins team is stacked, and with Tyreek Hill as well. You just like, it's fantasy gold. And then same thing with the Packers. As long as Jordan Love's healthy, I think that's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Everybody but Jalen Waddle.
What?
I said everybody on the Dolphins but Jalen Waddle.
Well, I mean, you know what was crazy?
He did have a good week this last week, though.
This
8 for
past week, he was a
144
stud,
and a
which was
touchdown.
awesome because,
Before that, it's 2 to 3 catches a week.
I ended up losing that league because I ran into Saquon or something like that. And then Dobbins went down and then Herbert sucked.
Right.
I actually had like a actually really good setup. I was like, okay, cool. I got Saquon. He put up 70 points in the league I'm in. I'm like, whatever. Wasn't even worried a bit. And then all of a sudden, here you go. Dobbins is out. I'm like, okay, well, this sucks. And then Herbert can't hit anything. I'm like, all right, well, this is not going as planned. I guess I'll lose this week. It's no big deal. I was like, my whole team, that's the league I drafted all the Bengals in. Whatever. But and I didn't get, 40 points from Mixon and you know what I mean. But Waddle put up a fight. I really did. I did like that. But yeah, he's right back to my bench. I'm not going to play him any week. I need something from him.
Because I mean, outside of this week, it's been 2 to 3 catches a week.
Yeah.
So Michael's hoping Johnny Smith keeps it going into the playoffs. He has been on a heater. That connection with him and Tua. Yeah, I mean, he's been their number one receiver. He had 9 catches for 87 yards and a touchdown, coming off of 6 catches for 101 and 2 touchdowns.
Yep.
He's gone back-to-back weeks pretty good. Matchup against Green Bay, and Green Bay gives up the 10th most points to tight ends. So that's a nice matchup for him to just keep it rolling. But you just got to hope Tua can get it going in the cold because, like I said, right now it's supposed to be 28 degrees. That does not fare well for that Dolphins team. When it's cold,
yeah.
Oh, buddy.
And Hill is going after bust of the year. I mean, planting the flag and everything else. I mean, we can go down the list. I think the top 10 picks. I've already got like 4 or 5 already rattling in my head. I'm like, Jesus, I can't wait for like when the season's over and I'm really mad and grumpy. Oh, buddy, there's a point when it's over. I'm like, thank God it's over. I feel like Andy Dufresne, right? I'm on my knees in a creek outside of a prison looking up with the rain falling down on me.
Crawled through a whole tunnel of shit.
Yeah, that's the fantasy season. Crawling through a 5 football fields of S. And then you're out the other side, you're just looking up and you're just getting rained upon. You're like, thank God the season's over. But then you're like, you know what? Let's go ahead and start calling out some other efforts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Lex is in the house. Lex says, drop Jonathan Brooks for Braylon Allen. RBs are Gibbs, Brees, Aaron Jones, Dobbins, Brooks. 10-team PPR league. Gus isn't available, by the way.
I mean, are you it's not a dynasty, is it redraft? Because, why do you want to go get Braylon Allen? I guess as a handcuff, maybe. I don't know. Like, I don't see unless you just want to pick somebody up. I mean, you're going to start Gibbs and Brees. Most leagues are 2 RBs, and then you have one for the flex. You've got 2 RBs and a flex sitting right there and Dobbins is going to be out for, a week or 2. I like Gibbs. I like Brees. I like Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones just gave you a hat trick last week. Now, will he do it this week? No, but he's going to have a nice little weekend. Yeah. Or Thursday, excuse me.
I don't know.
He said redraft.
It's redraft. I don't see the reason to do anything. I think that's just making a move to make a move. You'd be picking up Braylon Allen just in case Brees Hall goes down. That would be the only thing that you're doing.
I'm okay with that, though.
You're not going to play Braylon Allen, right? It's just not going to happen. Someone said Brees has a chance to miss.
There you go. That's all I need. I need a whisper in the wind to tell me my starting running back is going to miss, and I'll drop Jonathan Brooks because Chuba's been just lights out.
He is listed as questionable right now. Yeah. He said out of practice. He's got some knee soreness. They're hopeful that he will play Sunday, but yeah. So in this case, yeah, go ahead and do it because if he doesn't play, if Brees doesn't play, Braylon Allen should have a good game.
Yeah, and there's no reason to hold on to Jonathan Brooks because it's not a dynasty league. It's just redraft. Brooks will probably be sitting there the following week if you're sitting. By the time the next week rolls through,
pick up Brooks. Yeah. There's no reason to pick up Brooks. The only reason why someone will pick up Brooks is if Chuba gets hurt this week.
Yep. Or they have Chuba and they're like, you know what, I'm going to get my handcuff and just go ahead and take care of it.
Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. In which case, again, I mean, they both got like 2 carries last week. So.
Sweet.
That's what you got going for you there. Jacob, should I start Kareem Hunt next week? I don't have a backup running back. I mean, if that's your only option, then yes. Like,
wait, how don't you have you don't have like, hold on. I need Jacob, do me a solid. Do me a favor, buddy. Do me a favor. Go ahead and drop your lineup in the chat. You can abbreviate, keep it as limited as you want, whatever. Just drop that in the chat. Maybe give us the next up on the waiver wire or something like that. But I don't mind looking ahead. I'm a big fan of that because if there's players that are on bye weeks this week and people drop them thinking they're going to pick them back up, I'll slide right in and grab them. But I also need to know if it's PPR. I also need to know if you got a flex position. I need to know if you got 2 running back positions. You know what I mean? But I don't know when's Pacheco. Is Pacheco back next week? Is that what the question I guess is about?
I think Pacheco is getting ready to. I think he's coming back to practice. Let's take a look. Let's see what's going on. He's designated for return.
Okay.
He was a full participant in practice today.
Okay. There you go.
So,
and they're playing the Raiders this week, so he's probably going to get a light load. Bookmark that, or clip that. But yeah, after that, I mean, he runs like a maniac, and I do like Kareem Hunt because he's a dynamic player, right? He catches the ball out of the backfield. I think he probably will stay PPR relevant, at least flex. But I mean, everybody gets in these situations where you just don't have the running backs, you don't have the coverage for a bye week or something else going on. And I don't care. Like I load all my players up. I want my players. I don't pass on someone because they have a conflicting bye week. Listen, I'll line all my players up for the same freaking bye week, and I'll take that L that week. I don't care. I don't have a problem with that either. Like, hey, okay, cool. I'll take the loss that week. Or maybe I can make some moves on the waiver wire or, free agency or something like that, or in trades later on as the season progresses. But yeah, I don't. When I'm drafting, I'm not sitting there like, oh man, I got Jamar Chase and I can get Tyreek Hill too or whatever. You know what I mean? That's not possible, but it's like I'm not thinking about that. I don't care.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with starting Kareem Hunt. I mean, he started off pretty hot. It's kind of cooled off the last 3 weeks. No touchdowns in the last 3 weeks after getting touchdowns in the first 3 weeks. 68 yards last week, 60 the week before, 35 the week before that. 3 catches for 19. 2 weeks ago against Buffalo, 0 catches. And then against Denver, he had 7 catches for 65 yards. There's some tough matchups coming up after Vegas. You've got the Chargers, Cleveland, and Houston, who are 28th, 26th, and 27th against the run. And then you finish up with Pittsburgh, who's 21st against the run. So, or give up the 21st most points, right? So they're all tough.
Look, I love Duncan because Duncan answers questions for other people. I think it's wonderful. Yeah. It's a community.
Pick up that guy in free agency. Mm-hmm. McNichols is who he's saying.
McNichols available?
Yeah, he's Jacobs in his league. Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, thanks for sharing and letting him in. I heard about that too because I think it was on the Saturday night stream or whatever. He had players or dudes from his league coming in and asking questions and stuff like that. That's cool, man. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Right. Because you had Brian Robinson go out and Eckler both got hurt, so McNichols might get some action. What's the latest on Brian Robinson? Let's take a look.
It's Wednesday.
He's questionable. He's questionable right now. Yeah, but we could still take a look, right?
He's got to get a full practice in tomorrow, and then
limited practice today. They got Tennessee.
At what time?
That's a noon game.
Oh, so you'll know at 11. You'll know at 11:30 on Sunday.
And Eckler's questionable as well. Concussion, and he didn't practice today. So
who's got a concussion?
Eckler.
Yeah. I saw that pop up too. I was like, Jesus. And I was just, it was a blur of a weekend. I have Pacheco and Hunt. Who do I start? Or Hill? Tyreek Hill? Man, I've heard people talk about benching him and not playing my guy. I just can't. I could not do it. If I have Tyreek Hill on my team, I will. That's the ship I go down on. Like the ship's on fire. It's got holes in it. It's sinking. We're just going down. I'm on like the bow of the ship. I got the damn salute going or whatever. I just bury me on that damn boat because holy moly.
He's talking about running back, so I'm assuming he's talking maybe Justice Hill.
Yeah, I'm out on that. But yeah, Pacheco or Hunt. That's old school's got
back. So Justice Hill. Okay. Well, we got to find out what's going on with Pacheco. Like he's designated for return. He practiced some today, but we just got to see. Like, it's too early to make a decision on Pacheco or Hunt. And honestly, if I'm going to make a decision, I'm probably going to go with Hunt because it's Pacheco's first week back. He's going to be limited, right? They're not going to rush him back in and completely put him in and pull Hunt out, right? You just gotta see. I mean, a lot of times that first week back, especially for a running back, it's you're on a limited snap count.
But he's Pacheco runs like a wild man. Like he might get back in the game and just get hurt again because he runs like a lunatic. Like he runs like a person that's escaping a mental institution.
I mean, he might be. We've never asked.
I mean, he's on a football field on Sunday, so I assume he's not.
Well, some of these guys they got a couple screws loose.
This
right?
isn't what is that? What's that movie? The Replacement. This ain't The Replacements where they got guys coming out of incarceration and being incarcerated in a shady garage transfer.
I've never seen the underbelly of the NFL. Okay, I'm not involved in the behind the scenes stuff. Okay, things happen, and
Duncan, he might be.
I'm just saying he might. I don't know, man. Or Haskins with Dobbins out. So
who the hell's Haskins?
Haskins. I think Gus the Bus is going to be the main guy there, Michael.
Oh yeah, he's the next guy up, right?
The
Yeah,
next
or
guy,
the guy
right.
behind Gus.
The
Yeah.
guy.
Watch
guy
out,
behind
because
the guy.
I'll tell you what, I've seen it a million times where the lead back goes down, and all of a sudden they go to the third back guy, and he's like, "Hey," but that's also like similar situations, right? Where you have backs that are similar to the lead back, but they're in the third hole because the secondary back is a change of pace kind of guy, a little bit bigger, a little bit more of a bruiser, right? Dobbins is kind of a finesse guy, small, compact, got a lot of moves, dynamic, things like that. And then you go to, obviously Gus is a little bit bigger, a little bit more of a bruiser, and then the third one is more, resembles the initial back. So
I think we saw it in Buffalo when James Cook was out, right? You had, I can't remember the running back's name, but he was the main guy behind James Cook, and it wasn't him; it was the third guy that came in and was the guy who did all the work.
Ray Davis.
Yeah, Ray Davis, and then I can't remember who the second guy is. Not gonna work here anymore. That's who he is.
He's still there. He's still fine.
Okay.
Yeah, he's all right.
Okay, well, what's his name then?
Why do I need to know everybody's name? I don't know everybody's name.
Exactly. So you don't even know if he's there.
I probably have him on my damn team. It's Ty Johnson. Actually, you know what? Ray Davis, I think, moved up to second. Then you got Ty Johnson in the third hole.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're a mess up there in Buffalo. Every year, like somebody was talking about that the other day.
They're pretty damn good at football.
Well, but they can't win in the playoffs, right? So someone was bringing that up. I don't know what it was. I think I was talking like just standings or playoffs or something like that. And I was like, you know what? I've been saying Buffalo was going to win it. Oh, you know what? It was like B from O and a couple of the dudes on the Strikeout Beer stream. And I was like, I've been saying that Buffalo is going to make a run for like the past 5 years. And now I just don't give a shit. I don't care anymore. I don't care what they do. You know what? I don't understand how they got all that talent and can't do anything. You know what I mean?
You like that? You like that, Duncan? Hope you like that.
No, no one cares. No one out of like wherever, like out of the outskirts of Michigan gives a shit. Like no one cares, dude. Like you're finally relevant when all the other 3 teams in the North all suck too. But at least they got good records though. I like it. I'm bringing on the chaos. All 3, I think the top 3
hate everything and everyone. So whatever.
I think it's just real convenient when there's not a good quarterback in the North and guys are like, oh yeah, we're doing great.
Okay.
I do like Jordan Love though. Like I really do. Like he almost took me out last year. Holy moly. On Christmas, or was it New Year's Eve? I was sitting in my car just looking at my phone. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. How many touchdowns is this guy gonna throw? Thank God they took him out because, brother, I was in a world of problems. I was like, oh God. And I was like, this is over. I go, this MFer, and they brought him out in the second. I go, you're up, brother. You're up by 80. Like, just time to throw in the towel. Quit throwing touchdowns. And they bring him back out for the second half. He throws one more, and they're like, you know what? You're good. I go, thank God. I was terrified at that point that the backup was going to get hurt or something. They'd rather bring his ass back in. I was like, ah.
Mobbin's in the house. Need a wide receiver and a flex this week. Full PPR.
Hit the,
Tyreek,
oh, go ahead.
Tracy, DJ Moore, Jaden Reed, and JMO.
Huh.
So I'm out on Tracy. We'll go ahead and rule him out. He's playing tomorrow. I just don't like the Giants situation right now.
Even against the terrible defense of Dallas.
Even against the terrible defense of Dallas.
All right.
Washington didn't run that much against them. You know?
They tried to screw themselves up as much as they could. Like, it was the worst coach game I've ever seen from Washington. Like, Washington had no idea what they were doing. Like, I don't know what they were thinking. It's weird. Anyways, go ahead.
I don't really care for DJ Moore that much against Detroit. Just a bad matchup. DJ's been okay the last 2 weeks with 7 catches both weeks, but I don't know. I'm not really. That offensive line is bad, and that Detroit defensive line can get some pressure on Caleb and force some mistakes. I'm kind of leaning Tyreek. You know, like we were talking about a second ago. It's the upside is just it's so much there, right? It's there, but you do got to worry about Tua in the cold, right? Jaden Reed's had a good year. You know, I got no complaints about Jaden Reed. What has he done here? What have you done for me lately, Jaden Reed?
Nothing.
Not much.
Yeah.
3 catches last week, 26 yards. The week before, 2 catches, 23 yards and a touchdown. 5 for 113, 2 for 55, 2 for 10.
Yeah. Against tough teams, I guess, right? Yeah.
I mean, JMO's been good.
I knew you were going to say it. I would. If you had the best fucking players, you would have still went somehow to this guy who's like up and down, left and right. I was just waiting, dude.
You're going to argue with him being good here lately?
I mean, he scored 11 last week. Did you give Jalen Reed get down on your knees and say thanks to Jalen Reed?
4 for 124 the week before with a touchdown. 3 for 53.
You're such a homer.
I mean, it's
like you can't be trusted. You cannot be trusted if they ever
100%
like this rando person that's like always like suspended.
Okay, so who are you taking?
I'm here for the show, man. I'm gonna take was it JMO and give me the other guy you said you didn't like, Jalen Reed. I don't think DJ Moore is gonna do it as much as I love.
But you're not gonna take Tyreek?
Oh, I love Tyreek. Yeah, no, that's what I'm taking. I'm taking him and Jaden Reed. Yeah, most likely.
For me, it's between Jaden Reed and JMO for the second one. I'm taking Tyreek, and it's between the two of them. I think you have a bigger play potential with JMO, busting out a 50, 60-yard TD catch, right? And if you're in the league that gets you extra points for 40+ yard receptions, that's definitely a plus there, right?
I mean, Jaden Reed scored a ton more points per game, and has a higher ceiling than Williams.
Okay.
Like, you know, dude, he's hit 30 already, 35, and he's hit 30, 29, you know, and all that kind of stuff. He's already, he gets the bonus as well. So, yeah. But, you know, I mean, you're just a homer. That's all it is.
It's not.
I call you out on your bullshit.
Okay. I mean, you had a few points last week. I mean, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's got double digits in one of the last 5 games.
Yeah.
Including a 2 spot, 6, 8, 4. So, I mean,
one of my favorite games of the year was when when Williams caught a ball for a -4 yards. I thought that was like the most beautiful thing on earth.
Okay.
But he's boom or bust, obviously.
Yeah.
Boom or bust. A lot of busting. Some booming. You fucking homer.
He's not booming.
Yeah. But yeah, I knew who you were going to pick. I was just sitting here go down the line. I'm like,
says the guy who drafted all Cincinnati Bengals on a team.
As a bit, and I'm winning that league. Have you seen
what about that league?
Have you seen what Burrow and Chase have been doing? I don't know. Have you been keeping up with it?
What the heck's going on here, Dunk? I need to get in Duncan's league. Somebody dropped Chase Brown.
Send me an invite.
I picked him up, and he's projected for 18 points. Yeah, Chase Brown's been playing good this year.
Did they drop him because of a bye? Like, why would he?
That's the only thing I could think of.
And that's what they come up with? They're like, oh, I got a bye week. Let me drop him. Send me an invite, buddy. I'm in next year. I'm in. I'm in. And I'll draft all Bengals. I'll make that my bid. As long as you guys give me all the Bengals, I'll and then I got to get some spares along the way. Yeah. Didn't a trade and then he dropped them. Holy
That's
moly.
insane. So you traded for him and then you dropped him. What else was in that trade? Like,
Jesus.
I don't. What else was involved in that trade? Like, what was the piece that he got that he kept?
Cocaine and hookers. That's what he got. He goes, you got to drop them later. Is the Stars starting? Yeah, it's 7:30. All right. They're in Chicago. Take on the Blackhawks.
Oh,
Buddy.
Connor Bard.
That's crazy. Oh, they did. They trade and then they had to drop people. God, can you imagine being
who did they trade for? And then they dropped Chase Brown. That's my question. Like, who was that? I'm taking this guy on, but if I'm taking him on, I got to get rid of Chase Brown. Like,
oh my God, that's insane.
I don't understand.
I mean, like right now, like if you did it 4 weeks ago and dropped him, I understand. Right. You know, he's splitting time with Moss and whatever, and he wasn't really, he's kind of middle of the road. But if you did it in like the last 4 weeks, dropped him in the last 4 weeks, that's insane.
Since week 4, and this is in half point PPR, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Since week 4, 22, 14, 13, 6, 10, 24, 17, 16.
Yeah.
I don't see you're going to drop him after he had 6 points in week 7 after giving you 22, 14, and 13.
Some people just have enough, man. I've had enough of this BS and I'm out.
Enough of what? Him playing good? And he just says, oh,
that's 6-pointer and I'm out of here.
Okay.
I drop people for less. I don't want to lose. And when you lose that week, oh, buddy, that hurts. You're just like throwing coffee mugs around in the kitchen, you know, telling your wife you don't give a about what she makes this morning or tomorrow, whatever. Okay.
You're just an angry person. You're an angry elf.
Yeah. Must be from the South Pole. I've already watched. We watched Elf, Christmas Vacation. I watched Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. You know, just going down the list. I said I wasn't going to do it, but it's been so long since Halloween. I feel like I'm okay. It's like, all right, I can watch Christmas movies now.
Yeah. Duncan said he got Debo, Kenneth Walker, Zay Flowers for Gibbs, and a drop a crap tight end and Chase
in a dynasty league.
I wouldn't be. You're dropping Chase in a dynasty league? That doesn't make any sense. Like,
no, not at all. No, not at all. Oh my goodness.
And I'm not trading away Gibbs in a dynasty league. Like, what are we doing here? Or he got Gibbs. Or wait, no, he got Debo, Kenneth Walker, and Zay Flowers.
I mean, if you got Gibbs and Walker, you're like, okay, but still, that's, I mean, I'm borderline, like, I'm keeping Chase over Walker at that point, I think. Like,
but he's in a dynasty and he's got Gibbs.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he's got Chase.
Chicago scored in 17 seconds.
That's so you got that going for you, which is nice. I mean, you've got two good young running backs there. You trade for Kenneth Walker, who gets hurt all the time. On a team that just runs through running backs. Like,
that's insane. That's just really bad.
Yeah,
that's bad.
I don't know, man.
Yikes.
Michael, I lucked out and got Mooney, Dell, and Adams after someone dropped them.
I mean, both of them, well, all three are good wide receiver 2 and 3 material. Yeah. And you just pick them up and stack the bench and whatever happens or bye weeks. Yeah. All of a sudden you're playing them all. So yeah, good way to be on top of it right there.
In a couple weeks where you're like, I don't know, I'm playing Mooney. Like, he's had some good matchups and he's had some real good weeks this year.
Yeah.
So, and Adams has just been, I don't know, man. He's not the same.
Yeah. He's getting old. He's getting older. Get a little long in the tooth there. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm in on that. I mean, I got Mooney, I think, coming up this week or next week where I might need him. I'm like, get back in there, buddy. Need some touchdowns. Need some big plays.
Let's see here. Michael, of course I dropped them now, but I do regret Mooney.
I like Mooney.
Mooney's he's the number 2 receiver out there.
Yeah, I think out of all these guys, that's who I'm going to keep. If I had to drop like Mooney, Dell, or Adams, I'm going to keep Mooney, and I'll drop Tank and Devontae. Even though I love Devontae. I got his shirt, when he went to Vegas or whatever, and I got name and everything on it. It's like, dude, I love Devontae. Got his
You offered to have his baby a couple
yeah,
times.
Funko Pop. I got all
It's
this stuff.
why you got that restraining order that he
Yeah.
sent you. So, but hey, you were pretty excited because it had his autograph on it. So
Yeah, he had to sign it, so quite excited.
So we talked about a little bit the how long is the live gonna last? Probably about 15 minutes.
Yeah, 15, 20. We got to get over to Strikeout Beer for Drinksgiving. That's right here as well. That's our main podcast. We talk football. We'll actually make some picks. So here's something, guys. If you're in here tonight, and this more goes towards like Duncan, Michael, the guys have been following for a while, interacting on a weekly basis. We make NFL picks on a weekly basis for Strikeout Beer, right? We always pick the Lions game, the Cowboys game, the Bengals game, and then we have two other wild card, high profile games to pick. We have a Strikeout Beer line. You actually call and make the picks live with us. So if you're on Strikeout Beer, it's usually about the top of the hour. We'll, make picks, and we do quite well. We do pretty well.
About 9 o'clock Central Time, we make the picks.
About 9 o'clock Central Time, and we'll make our picks. And like tonight, it might go a little bit later or something like that. But yeah, we have a number. We ask, if someone's in the chat and they want to make picks with us, call in, make picks. We'll have some fun. 5 games against the spread. And so I just want to make sure that y'all are aware of that. So yeah, it's right here on YouTube as well. I think it's YouTube.com /Strikeout Beer.
Yep. Michael asks, what's on the menu for tomorrow?
Buddy, we're going to talk about that tonight. Yeah.
Just give me the number one thing you're excited about for tomorrow.
Everything. Oh yeah, my wife. So
pick one.
Deviled eggs, I guess.
Deviled eggs.
But no, I got. The daughter-in-law's here. My wife's here. Everything's being made from scratch. She already started making these little mini pecan pies from scratch.
Okay.
So the crust, everything's homemade. So, dude, every year they throw down in the kitchen, even like potato salad or green beans. All this stuff. It's all handmade. And buddy, I can't wait for tomorrow because our family thing is going to go down like a little bit earlier, like 11 or 12 o'clock, because everybody else got to go take care of the other families and all that kind of stuff. And so that I say the deviled eggs. I'm very excited about that and the turkey.
You were talking about deviled eggs on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I'm deep frying my first turkey tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that. That should be fun. I'm ready to do that. So hopefully that goes good. Nice deep fry. It's delicious.
Meat thermometer and a timer.
Yep. Got it all. It all. Ready.
They're delicious. We had one done 10 years ago, 5 years ago, or something like that, maybe 5 years ago, and it was freaking amazing. Love it.
Looking forward to it. So real quick, let's touch on this San Francisco Buffalo game with prediction of like a snowstorm, right? They've been talking about it. The weather's going to be awful. Are you avoiding players from these teams because of this storm? Is this affecting how you're going to set your lineup this week?
No, I have Kittle in some leagues, and I'll probably play him, even though there's a John. I have Jonnu on my bench, so it's kind of between those, and I'm like, I start Kittle, right? Because I'm going to start Kittle, and I have Cook. I'm going to start Cook. It's not affecting me any way, shape, or form, and I hope that even if they can move the ball, like the only thing that would make me consider not playing would be kickers. Kicking's going to be tough. They're still going to try to do their basics, right? You saw the snowstorm up there that rolled in on Thursday Night Football with Cleveland, right? Mm-hmm. They still ran the ball. I understand a snowstorm in Buffalo is a little bit different than just a pop-up snowstorm in Cleveland, but they're going to plow that field. They're going to get everything off of it. It's not like they're going to be playing in 3 feet of snow. They're going to do their best to keep the field clean. It will be a little bit chilly, but obviously a lot of precipitation. But I'm not. I can't get away from it. Like let's say your deep ball threats, maybe not too excited about it. And is Purdy going to play?
I don't think he is, because there was a lot of talks that they were going to be in discussions for Danny Dimes, and he ended up signing with the Vikings.
Yeah, back up out there. And so that's what I'm saying. Like
He's
I trust
questionable right
Kittle.
now.
I trust Kittle in PPR formats and to get in the end zone because it's going to be check down, check down, check down. I've already seen what he gets out of Brandon Allen, and so I'm okay with that. Right? I anything else like Debo? Yeah, sure. He's going to get some check downs, some other stuff going on. But I just
Venom was turning kicks this last week, right?
yeah
In
yeah.
fact, they're returning some kicks. I mean, they're just looking for ways to get him the ball. And like on Purdy, he was limited in practice, but only threw 2 passes the whole practice when he was in there. So it doesn't look like Purdy's going to be a go. Looks like we're getting another Brandon Allen week, which not that great. And
And
I mean,
Sunday's
and
so far away.
CMC hasn't looked that good. Like, let's just be honest. Since CMC's come back, it looks like he's aged a few years.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, it's freaking November, December in Buffalo. It's going to be snowing, right? They have what is that? Snow for the next 6 days up that way. A little bit light on Monday, but heavier on Sunday. I just no, I'm going to play my guys. I'm just going to play my guys, and it's not like I'm Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman. I don't think Keon Coleman's playing, but some other ones. Yeah, I'm probably going to be a little bit hesitant, but like Kincaid and Jordan and Cook, I'm in because there's going to be check downs, easy passes, and things like that. No big plays. I wouldn't expect anything big, but they're going to take care of the field. This is not the first rodeo out there. I mean, you've seen the cars, right? Leaving after a big old snowstorm, blizzard, coming through, with blocks of, snow all over them and stuff like that. But the field, pristine. They'll take care of it.
Yeah. Keon Coleman, he was limited in practice. He hasn't practiced in 2 weeks. So he's actually starting to get out there now, dealing with that wrist injury. Still listed as questionable. So we'll see how practice goes over the next few days. But Jake wants to know, what do you think the Packers versus Dolphins game? How do we think that's going to go?
Funny enough, we have that coming up here shortly because we have, we're going to look at the 3 games and see about the players who you want to play, who you want to bench, and things like that. So we can actually hop right in that if you want.
Let's start with that right there.
Boom. So we'll start from, I guess, B to T then. All right. So obviously they're up in Green Bay. Tua right now projected for 22.63 points. A-Chain 17.23. Tyreek Hill 13.38, which he's been a bust like almost every single week. Jonnu Smith 11.76. He's been a breakout all-star last couple of weeks. So is there anybody in this? You have Waddle 11.28, but we've talked about how last week he just blew up and he's done nothing since. For the Miami Dolphins, is there anybody you're sitting, or is there anybody you're must play?
I'm playing Devin A-Chain. Devin A-Chain with Tua back. Devin A-Chain's a must play. He's one of those. He needs the threat of the pass, which you have with Tua, because it opens up those running lanes for him. I'm still gonna play. I know it's supposed to be 28 degrees, and Tua doesn't typically do well in the cold weather, but I'm still gonna play Tua. Like I've got Tua in a couple leagues. He's done me good since he's been back, right? And I'm gonna keep riding that. I don't really have anybody that I'm like would be like, no, I'll go ahead and start this guy just because of the cold weather. But I'm also not looking at free agents to possibly try and pick someone up the stream for the week. I'm still gonna play Tua. I'm still gonna play if I got Tyreek, which I don't, but I'm gonna play Tyreek because he's Tyreek, right?
It's like I want it so bad, but he's just, he finally hit like 19 this year. Outside of week 1, that's the highest score he's had. And that's just, it sucks. But you're just taking it right on the chops because I'm like, it's Tyreek.
And Waddle, I'm benching him. Like I benched him last week, which kind of hurt me, but he hasn't done anything. And I've got other wide receivers that are good options in that league. So I've got other options. I'm going to roll with it, but the odds are you probably invested some decent capital in Waddle, and he's been a bust for you this year.
No, you got Waddle at a decent price point, I think. Like he was you got we need to go back and visit that draft board. I think he's a little bit further down the list. I mean, what do you think? 6, 7, 8? How far down do you think Waddle was?
I would say probably 6. Like, I know you're looking up his ADP.
Yeah, I wanted to know, man. It's like consensus, he was like 43 overall, 20 in PPR for wide receivers. So you're talking about pretty far down the list. Overall PPR, you're talking 4th round, 5th round. So yeah, I would say that's a bust at this point.
Yeah. But as far as the Packers, of course, you're playing,
So I'll tell you real quick. We got Jordan Love, 24.67 points. Josh Jacobs, 16.29. Jalen Reed, 12.31. Then obviously it falls off. Kraft, 8.7. Christian Watson, 8.34. Watson could have had a couple extra catches. Boy, they just come out the last second. And pass interference kills Christian Watson. I
He's
swear.
been a bust this year.
We need to
You didn't
play
draft him that high, but he hasn't been what we've kind of thought he was going to be.
Watson?
Yeah.
Oh man, he was like last round fodder. They didn't even think he was. Yeah, he was like wide receiver 3 on his team. So no, it's not a bust. As far you're just taking flyers at that point. But so out of these guys, say like the main fellas, Love, Jacobs, Reed, we'll throw in Kraft. Are you in on any of those guys this week? They're hosting Miami.
Miami is tough against wide receivers. I will say that, right? They give up. Hold on a second, and I'll tell you. I just had it. I lost it. They give up the least amount of points to wide receivers. The least amount. But here's the thing: Green Bay's just going to sling the ball. They're going to throw the ball. They are going to run it a lot, but they are going to sling it a lot. So you're still going to go with your top guys there, and hope for the production. But
yeah, Love's back-to-back weeks, 20 points. He had 20 last week, 28 the week before, but he's just kind of had some off games as well. He's had some blowouts, like some really good games, but you're rolling into Miami, then you got Detroit, Seattle, New Orleans, and then Minnesota. So he's kind of a little bit on the tougher end going through, but I think I have to play him this week, right? You play him, you're going to play Jacobs. He got you a hat trick this week, scored you 28 points. 100 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns. The week before that, 76 yards and a touchdown. So they're going to keep rolling. Now, as far as Reed, I think he'd be the only part where I'm like, well, maybe. He's going to be flex material, I think, at this point, after scoring 5 points and then 9 points. He had a big game 2 weeks ago. So maybe it's time for him to pop again, because it looks like he has 2 dubs and then he pops off for some double-digit action. He scored that touchdown, though, that salvages week against Chicago.
Yeah, it'll be tough because again, Miami just doesn't give up points to wide receivers. But
there you go. There's your Green Bay and Miami look at.
What's the oldest league you're in?
It's gangsta, whatever that is.
Our gangster. How long we've been doing that for?
I don't know. Not very long. Not as long as like some other people.
Well, but I still think it's been going on for a good 10 years.
15. Yeah, 2015. But like Allen's played in leagues longer than that.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying you've been playing longer than that. Let's just say.
Oh yeah. I've been playing since '98. I've been playing fantasy football.
Yeah. And our other buddy that pops on the show every so often, Ryan, he's been playing since like 94, and things like that. It's like, holy moly. I was like, I got into it late. It's been fun. All right. So that's the game. Let's go back to, let's do your favorite here. Here we go. We'll do the Chicago and Detroit game.
Okay.
So you have Caleb Williams, 20 points, DJ Moore, 13.90, Keenan Allen, 12.3, Swift, 11.71, Odunze, 10.8, and you get Kmet, like 8.22 projected. Any of these guys you want to start or you don't want to start?
I'm not starting Swift. Detroit's not giving up the run. And Swift hasn't been good lately. I'm not starting Caleb. Here's the one thing I would keep an eye on. Detroit's got a little bit of a banged up secondary, so you kind of want to take a look tomorrow and see which guys are playing. But they should still be fine because they just got a lot of guys off of the injured list as far in the secondary. So some of those veterans that they had signed in the offseason to help improve the secondary are now back and been back for a couple weeks. So some of these younger guys like Terry and Arnold, I don't think he's going to be a go this week, which he's been pretty good. He's good for 1 or 2 pass interference calls, but then other than that, you don't hear his name because he shuts down whoever he's covering. Right. And he's been covering some big receivers. They're just not giving. Detroit hasn't given up a touchdown in, I want to say it's 6 or 7 quarters now. And I want to say maybe the last 3 games they haven't given up a touchdown in the second half. The defense is just playing great. I don't want to play Chicago players.
Well,
You
they
might
don't.
get some yards, but you're not going. The touchdowns aren't going to be there, right?
Well, against bad teams, right? Like
Okay,
they played.
Chicago's a bad team.
Yeah, but he put up like 400 yards the week before, or 340 yards. Yeah, 340 yards against Minnesota.
Okay.
They're a couple positions of like ranked above them. So yeah,
Okay.
and then Green Bay is right there, ranked 27th versus Detroit, ranked 28th, and he threw 231 yards against them. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean y'all are good
and
against like
a pick six,
bad
right? And a
teams.
pick six and another interception.
Yeah,
So
huh? I don't know. I mean, I don't want to play him. I don't ever want to be in a position where I'm playing Caleb Williams, anyways.
yeah, I
'Cause
mean,
that's just insane. But you hope that they goes down, like, say they get down and they just have to keep throwing, and you're in a league that kinda compensates for that. Like, Bortles, right? You want the Bortles effect no matter what.
the problem is Caleb's already gun shy as it is.
Thank you. See, even
Duncan,
you too.
Caleb's already gun shy as it is,
Mhm.
and if they go down and they have to throw, Detroit's just going to throw so much pressure at them because that's what they've been doing. They get up big and then they blitz like crazy. They get this pressure on these quarterbacks and they knock the crap out of them. So I don't want to play Chicago players.
Are they
I
all
just don't.
backups? Hold on, let me see. I was looking to see if they were all backups. When's the last time y'all played a starting quarterback? Well, Richardson was back. That was his week 1, right? Week 1 back from being hurt?
No, he'd been back for a couple weeks.
Couple weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, then you got DJ Moore, which he had 26 last week. He had 13 the week before. I can't trust him, and I can't play Adunze either. I have him, and just can't play him. And as much as I love Keenan Allen, he had a good week last week too. He benefited from those. He had 15 targets, 9 receptions. That isn't on him, I guarantee it. So I don't think I can play any Bears just straight off because. But I say that every week. Like I wouldn't play Caleb Williams or any of these other guys against a terrible team. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's tough sledding. If you're in that situation, I think you deserve all the pain that you caused yourself.
If you have Bears on your team, you're a Bears fan.
He'll be around on Saturday night. Yep. Then you got Detroit. Let's see, Goff 21.9, Amon-Ra St. Brown 16.7. I don't think he's gonna play. Jahmyr Gibbs 16.76, Montgomery 13.44. I don't think he's gonna play either. Jameson Winston 11.18, Sam Laporta 9.61. I think 2 of these guys aren't going to play this week because they know they don't have to play them, right? Like I think you rest them. You rest St. Brown and Montgomery. It does boost up Williams.
They were both full participants in practice today.
Yeah.
St. Brown and Montgomery. So if Montgomery's playing, you're playing him, right? That's just all there is to it. You play Montgomery because he's going to get you a touchdown.
I mean, if that's what you need, yeah, like because he gets you like 12 points. He did go off. I think was it last week against Jacksonville. Again, you guys do really good against terrible teams, right? That's why you guys blow out terrible teams. But I don't. You say Chicago's got a good defense. I don't know if you're. I don't know if you're bullshitting me when you're like because whoever the next team is that's up, you're like, oh, they got a good defense. They're gonna.
I've been talking about how Chicago's had a pretty solid defense all year, but the problem is
Yeah,
they spend too much time on the field because
yeah.
their offense is
You
terrible.
haven't played them yet, right? Okay,
No,
okay, there it is. Okay,
no.
so
But
yeah,
here's the thing: Detroit is they're just going out to embarrass teams, and this is a division game against a team that a lot of people said was going to be better than Detroit this year, which is absurd. They're going out there with bad intentions for the Bears. Yes, that defense will hold up for maybe about the first half, but come the second half, they're not going to be able to anymore.
yeah. I think I'm
And
more on
look for a
Gibbs on
big
this
second
one,
half.
obviously, because
Oh, yeah.
Gibbs have put up like 20 something points a week, and like it looks like Montgomery just kind of he'll fall in the end zone and you get your 12 points, or he gets you like 70 yards or something like that. He had 2 that 2 weeks ago, but you don't get to play Jacksonville every week, so yeah. And Indy's terrible as well. Yeah. So yeah, and with that injury too, I expect Gibbs to have a pretty good game. I don't know how high the number's going to be, and then obviously with Goff, I mean, he had 13 points last week. I don't even know if you can play him on a reg unless he's going to play Jacksonville every week. Like if he plays like a normal team, he doesn't. He gets you 12, 13 points. He played. They did Dallas pretty well, but Dallas sucks too. I don't think so. Do you play Goff this week?
Yeah. I'm playing him.
So you take your 13 points and you're happy with that?
He's going to get more than 13 points.
The last time they played a top defense, it's red right here, right? So I mean, if it's red, so Green Bay, he played Green Bay and got 13 points. He plays Chicago, which is 30th, Green Bay, which is 27th, Buffalo 25th, Chicago again, and then San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm not. Again.
Okay, cool.
They're going to have a big game tomorrow.
Big game. All right. Then you got the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. And oh my God.
I don't want to play anybody.
You can't. Do you see Malik Neighbors' interview?
No,
I thought it was great.
They're asking why he didn't get the ball more. He said, ask my coach.
Yeah, because I didn't get the ball till we're down by 30. You got Drew Lock coming in at 17.5. Malik Neighbors 13.9. Tracy Jr. at 13.4. I'm with you. I can't start any of these people unless if I'm in a situation, I cannot start them. Can't start them.
Yeah, I know I got to go and look because I know I have Tracy in a couple leagues, and I just got to see who I have on the bench. But he's probably going to come out of the lineup. Are
you going to redraft or is it dynasty for him?
Redraft, and I do have him in one dynasty. I did get him in one dynasty league.
So you finally have a chance to play him, and you're just like, I can't do it.
Well,
it's in this league. That's your name next to him.
I've been playing him. And he's been doing all right. He hasn't been doing awful.
22 and a 25. Got you double digits on that one against Carolina. And they do have a favorable matchup. Obviously Dallas, and then you got New Orleans, Baltimore, Atlanta, and then Indy. But Dallas is with their situation in New York, buddy. I don't know, or New Jersey.
I don't like their situation there, but I'm a little bit more optimistic with Drew Lock playing versus DeVito, because DeVito's just it was a joke, right? They were trying to lose. And if it wasn't for the fact that DeVito was hurt, he would still be starting. And they're probably pissed that they got to start Drew Lock, because at this point in time, they want to lose. They want that number one pick, and they're going to draft a quarterback. You might be looking at Shedeur Sanders next year there in New York.
They're going to get one. They're going to get a quarterback. They're going to lose.
Beck, right? It's going to be him or Carson Beck, right? Just depends on who they favor more. But the nice thing is, like, I think Tyrone Tracy will be pretty good going forward, like next year, right? Again, I have been flexing him with bye weeks and things like that. He's done all right. He did much better when Danny Dimes was in there. You know, he didn't do too much this last week with DeVito in there, but and then I like Malik Neighbors, but
yeah,
if you get a good quarterback there, that will help him and that will help that quarterback.
Mm-hmm. All right, moving over to the disastrous Dallas Cowboys. Cooper Rush 19 points, CeeDee Lamb 16.52, Dowdle 13.52. You got Shoemaker supposed to be 8.87 because the injury to whatever the hell his name is, I can't think of it right now. Yeah. Anybody other than Lamb? Are you even playing Lamb at this point?
I mean, what did Lamb do this last week?
Yeah, 12.
Because like the week before, he had like 6 catches for like 21 yards.
Well, he had 10 catches last week, 8 catches the week before, and then against Philly, they scored as the week they scored 6 points.
6 for 21 yards. 10 for 47. I mean, 10 for 67. The thing is Cooper Rush throws dinks and dunks. Yeah. So you're going to have a low yardage. You're hoping for a touchdown, which he hasn't scored a touchdown since week 8. I mean, he's only got 3 games where he scored touchdowns this year. Mm-hmm. You know, it's even before Dak went out, you were still kind of questioning whether or not you were going to play CD because he just hadn't been good this year. But unfortunately, you drafted CD in your top 5, and you probably got to play him because of that draft equity that you have in him, unless you got some really good guys behind him, right? But I mean, if he's gonna have a good game, it's gonna be against the Giants, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this: CeeDee Lamb's your number 3 receiver season long with 196 points. So as bad as he's been, you look at those numbers and they do add up throughout the season. I mean, you got Chase, St. Brown, Lamb, Jefferson, McLaurin, Smith and Jigba, Garrett Wilson, Zay Flowers. These are names that you didn't think they would be here, but here we are. But obviously, I mean, it's Chase's world. We're all just living in it. He's 60 points over the next dude. So, yeah. But I mean, CeeDee Lamb, 196. He's 9 points behind from being second in the league. I don't know. I mean, it sucks, his situation, but he's still at dinks and dunks, a 1 yard pass. Give me that point. That's why I love PPR.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I want no part of Rico Dowdle. I mean, if he's going to have a game again with the Dallas guys, if they're going to have a good game, it's going to be this week against the Giants because the Giants are just bad. But here's the other thing to consider. Weird things happen in Dallas on Thanksgiving. We've watched them get the living crap kicked out of them by some pretty crappy teams on Thanksgiving. So I don't know, man. I just don't want any part of this game. And unfortunately, I got CD in one league and I got Tyrone in a couple of leagues. So I actually have to put some thought into whether I'm playing those guys or not. And it just hurts my head.
Yeah. And luckily enough, you'll be live Saturday night to answer any start-sit questions when we find out a little bit more about injuries and things like that. Alan's going to be live. I don't know what time do you think you're going to get going this week?
It's simply around 10 p.m. Central Time.
10 p.m. here on YouTube and on X. We're live on both, so make sure you head on over there. Check him out on Saturday night. Put those notifications on. Get involved. You can join the stream, ask questions, start, sit, trades, anything. Nothing's off the table. I mean, you can ask some pretty crazy questions.
I mean, shoot, we had a discussion that we've had non-football discussions. We just started talking old school football at one point where we had a whole 20-minute conversation about John Elway for a while. Like, let's have some fun, guys. That's what we're here for. But we got to get out of here. We got to head over to Strikeout Beer. If you want to join us over there, come on over, have some fun, have a drink or two, and let's talk some Thanksgiving stuff. A little bit more football, but yeah, a lot of fun. Michael, happy Thanksgiving, brother. Hope you get on the way to those dubs tomorrow. But hey, guys, thanks so much for watching. As always, I'm Alan.
I'm RD.
Let's get those dubs. Talk to you later. Deuces.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Strikeout Beer Podcast.